allow yourself to shine without the desire to be seen. And I believe that if you're like me, then you have probably had a similar experience or the same experience as me. And for a long time, I would say that, I felt like I wasn't being seen. And what do you do when you feel like you're not being seen? You end up trying to be seen. And in the process of trying to be seen, you end up trying so hard, and it doesn't even quench that like thirst that you have to be seen, because it's like the more you try, the more they don't see you. And I remember that I began doing social media around 2020, time ya covid, when kulikuwa na hiyo mambo ya like kukaa nyumbani. And that is when I began my Instagram. Okay, nilikuwa na ingine, but the one I normally use right now, I began it at that time. And I remember I was used to post, like I didn't have like anything guiding me on what to post. I just posted because I wanted to post. Like I didn't have to overthink about the numbers. I didn't have to overthink about anything else. I just did it because I wanted to. And then I began on TikTok, and it was also the same. So as for Instagram, it's more about aesthetics. At the time, I was just like, I just want things to look good, and I used to take a lot of pictures. So Instagram was more like, pictures, and then TikTok was like more video content. And I found that TikTok was more freeing, because as much as, on Instagram I'm trying to like maintain a certain kind of grid, it still didn't feel like work to me. I really enjoyed what I used to do. And then around towards the end of campus, or in between campus, I started feeling like Instagram was becoming too much work, because now I got to learn about the algorithm. I got to learn about, creating for people. Like I just got to learn a lot of things. And for a minute I was like, I now began overthinking whatever I was going to post, because I was like, is the algorithm going to like this? Are people going to like this? How are people going to perceive what I post? What are people going to say about this? And so it's no longer it was no longer about my joy. It was about the validation I would get, whether in the form of numbers, whether in the form of, like the reactions that people would get. And I think I have struggled in between until now to finally understand that this was never for others. It was just for me, because this is an outlet for me, and I really enjoy like just sharing about my life, even the most like tiny details. And when you start considering other people, when you're doing something that you want, it kind of limits you, because now when you want to do something, you're always going to think of others first before you think about yourself. And I have been in that predicament to the point that I think, yeah, at the beginning of this week, I was like, I'm not going to be checking who viewed my stories, who viewed my content. I'm just going to post, so that I can build up that habit of just putting myself out there once again, without the need to feel like I have to prove myself to anyone. I have to prove myself to, whoever is watching. And then that way I can also just post whatever I want, without curating what I think that these people are going to want to see from me. Or maybe they would, like sometimes when you're viewing, you just like, maybe nimeka kama story kama for me, and then I'm like, I'm doing too much. So you find that like whenever you're doing stuff that you want for yourself, when you consider others before you, it's always going to be about them first, and it's not going to be about you. And you forget that it's supposed to be about you, because these people are experiencing life through you. And so if you decide to copy everyone else, do what everyone else is doing, then you're just not adding anything to that. And so I had to stop myself, and I'm really glad that I did that. Like that, that desire to be seen, I would say that it has changed so much, because now I'm choosing to create, what fills me with joy, what makes me happy, what makes me feel good, without necessarily going for like creating a performance for other people to enjoy. Maybe I can enjoy it, but it takes too much work, because now I'm overthinking, are people going to like this even before I create it? And if my mind tells me that people are not going to like it, people are not going to enjoy it, then naenda kukosa kufanya. now mimi like it just gets tiring to some point, and I feel like that is the point I am at currently. Like I just don't want to please anyone anymore. I don't want to prove anything to anyone. Like I just want to do things for myself, and whether people agree with them or not, that is not upon me. Whether people like them or not, that is not upon me. Like I have found that I have limited my joy for the sake of other people, and to think that even these people don't even know me, like they just know me based on what I share, and they may not even realize that maybe I am going through like that cafe of feeling like I'm doing too much because maybe they enjoy whatever they are watching or they don't. Like I wouldn't know. It's not like right now I'm reminding myself that I don't have to be seen. I just have to create for myself. Like I don't have to be seen. So yeah, allow yourself to shine without the desire to be seen. Because at the end of it, this is your work, this is your life, this is your whatever. If you're a content creator, this is your life. You're creating content from your life. And if you're always curating like what your life looks like, then it's not adding up. So I think I've shown you guys my coloring book, and I wanted to start on another project, and I was telling myself maybe not maybe like